welcome to SoCal Prep Report. Along with Eric Sondheimer, I'm Randy Rosenbaum. Of course, Eric, the legendary writer at the LA Times. We're going to talk about legends today because we're at the City Hall of Fame. We're in Culver City at the Doubletree. A lot of great names are going in. This is the fourth time we've had a Hall of Fame. They do it every 2 years. We have some great names amongst the 44, Eric.
Yeah, I've enjoyed each one of them. Started out with the likes of John Elway and Brett Saberhagen, and today there's some great people. Keyshawn Johnson from Dorsey's getting in, and some great track people, and Chris Marlowe, who did a tremendous job at Palisades and volleyball, now a well-known announcer. So it's going to be a fun night.
All right, who are you looking forward to the most to talking to about their experiences?
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing Keyshawn's speech because Keyshawn never stops talking. At Dorsey High, played for Paul Knox, and he'll do a great job of talking. And I want to see how long that you get to interview him.
I'm looking forward to chatting with James Butts, an interesting guy, an Olympian. He went to Fremont in track and field, long jumper and triple jumper. In the triple jumper, he was great as he excelled after his days at Fremont. We'll visit with him on this show as well. We have a lot of nice guests on this program. Kara Bloomfield, congratulations to Kara. We've worked with her on the air here as a softball analyst. She's going in for her days at El Camino Real, where she was a great softball shortstop.
Don't forget about Freeman Williams, one of the great players at Man Yards basketball. And do we get chocolate chip cookies? Because that's what the Doubletree's known for.
We don't need any chocolate chip cookies. So the weather's great. It's going to be wonderful inside. I got a feeling they're going to have chicken. So I am really excited. We're going to step out. When we come back, we'll meet our first Hall of Famer, the great Chris Marlowe, now noted for his wonderful play-by-play on all the volleyball matches on NBC. We'll step out. Plenty more on SoCal Prep Report.
Exploring LA County's trails is now a click away. A mobile-friendly trail locator lets you discover all our county's scenic hikes. It features an interactive map that takes you inside the trail. From the elevation to the temperature, what you need to know is at your fingertips. Wondering if your dog, horse, or bike is welcome? It has that too. So discover some of LA's best-kept secrets and happy trails to you.
This is exciting to have a friend go into the Hall of Fame, and it's well-deserved. Chris Marlowe, in my opinion, now the greatest volleyball play-by-play announcer of all time. But he's going in for his days when he played volleyball at Palisades. They won 3 city titles. And he was also on their basketball championship in 1969. Chris, it's great to see you, and congratulations.
You, Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
What do you remember about those days at Pali?
Well, volleyball was just starting up. It wasn't a mainstream sport by any means. We had a coach that actually coached gymnastics and b-football named Howard Enstead. And they said, hey, do you want to start a volleyball program? And he did. And he had a lot of guys from the beach, and our Palisades High School very close to the beach. And he rounded up the gang, and that started a dynasty that lasted 30 years, kind of a little bit like the Yankees in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Palisades, 60s, 70s, and 80s, really the powerhouse in Los Angeles City.
And give people an idea what it was like to grow up in LA at that time, because that's the time UCLA was doing great in volleyball and also basketball, and you had the Dodgers and obviously the Lakers.
Yeah, it was a great time. UCLA Bruin basketball, USC Trojan football, Lakers, it had everything. And I think that my fondest memories are going to high school and playing basketball and playing volleyball and doing well at both those sports. And it was just a great time in Southern California. It wasn't as crowded as it was. It was a beautiful place to grow up. I grew up on the west side in Brentwood. So everything was good. I can't say one bad thing about my high school career. I really can't.
And you grew up at a time we had great announcers in LA. Mm-hmm. Did that influence you to become an announcer?
Yeah, I think it did. I always was a big fan of Chick Hearn. Chick Hearn was kind of my idol, and the way he could deliver a word's eye view. I love Vin Scully. I love Bob Miller. I mean, they had 3 or 4, and obviously Dick Enberg was at UCLA then. So I would say my roots are with Vin Scully, yo-yoing, popcorn machine, all that kind of stuff, and so I remember him fondly.
Chris, let's go back to the Palisades basketball team of 1969. We think of Crenshaw in those days of being the power, but it was your Dolphins that won the city title. Take us through what you remember about the championships.
Well, we were fortunate that Crenshaw was just a beginning school. They just got there in 1969. We played them twice. We beat them by 2 both times. and then they would start their role in a couple of years under Willie West. But we had a really good team. It was guys that I played with my entire life, from like grammar school to junior high and on. And we lost only one game that entire year. We played at Reseda. Greg Lee and Gary Franklin beat us, but we had 3 guys out with the flu, and one guy had a bad back. So when we played him in the rematch, we actually played him in the finals. We beat him by 27, which was an LA City record for a long time. I don't know if it still stands for the most points victory margin. So it was a magical year. I was named LA City Tournament Player of the Year. And that's the best player in the tournament. And then when they had the vote for the LA City Player of the Year, I was told later that I lost by 1 vote to Greg Lee. And I later found out that Avram Dansky, who had worked for the LA Times at that time and was the big sports guy, he wasn't there. For some reason, he couldn't vote, and he was going to vote for me. So he wasn't there, and I didn't get it. And that was the only disappointment.
We know you're for volleyball. You know, obviously all the calls, the fact that you participated and won a gold medal in 1984. But what was your true love growing up? Because you played basketball. You're calling basketball now for the Denver Nuggets. Yeah. What is your true love? Is it volleyball? Is it basketball?
I think I always loved basketball more than volleyball. I was better at volleyball than I was at basketball, but I just grew up with basketball. I loved the Bruins. I loved the Lakers. You know, all of it was just basketball. I just happened to be good at volleyball also, and certain aspects I really. I like volleyball too. It was great, but my best memories are one of my best memories, and maybe even on par with the Olympic gold medal, is winning the LA City Basketball Championship with my buddies.
Well, congratulations, as I said at the beginning of the interview. Well deserved, and I do consider you the best volleyball play-by-play announcer of all time.
Have you heard my basketball lately?
You do a nice job with the Nuggets, yeah. Sorry you didn't make the playoffs, though.
I know, just missed.
Well, you wanted to be here. And congratulations, by the way, on May 7th, you're going into the Southern California Indoor Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's like a Hall of Fame couple of months, and it's good. Let's keep it going.
All right, Chris Marlowe. We'll have a lot more right after this on SoCal Prep Report.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. You can't control where it will land, only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how to protect your community from wildfires.
He graduated manual arts in 1974, really one of the electric offensive weapons in the history of prep basketball in Southern California. Freeman Williams led the city in scoring. He was an all-city player, just a terrific performer, went on to Portland State and was a professional basketball star. Freeman, first and foremost, congratulations on getting into the Hall.
It's an honor, you know. I thought it should have been happening, but I accept it for what it is, so I'm just glad to be here right now.
Yeah, the first thing, and we'll get into some of the details of your fabulous career, but there's this team, Chino Hills, now that plays up and down, and everybody's firing up three-pointers, and it's an open game, run and gun. How would your style apply today in that kind of environment?
Well, all I know, and I remember when I played in high school, we didn't have the atmosphere that these kids have now. And you have some kids, I heard a kid named Ball. Mm-hmm. He scored 70-something, 81 points, 71 in a game.
You would have scored 100, right?
I ain't gonna say I wouldn't have been very close.
But you did score 81 points at Portland State. Describe what the feeling was like. Were you tired afterwards because you shot so much?
No, I wasn't tired. I thought if they played another game, I'd have got 50 or something.
But those were the days when 81 points, that's as much as Kobe scored in one game.
You couldn't believe it back then, man. I couldn't tell nobody that I could score that, but it happened, you know.
Tell us about your roots growing up. Where'd you play and how'd you develop your basketball skills?
Well, I was born and raised right on 41st and Figueroa, right down the street from USC. And I always used to play, my mom then put my basketball court in the backyard. I'd always play, and look what happened, you know.
Right. Manual Arts had some great teams back then. Dwayne Poley went there. You went there. What was it like playing basketball in the city section back then?
Man, it was tough playing in the city of Los Angeles back then. Like you talk about Dwayne. Dwayne's a good friend of mine. We was at Manual Arts. We was gonna coach together, but some stimulation somehow. But he's still a good friend of mine, Dwayne. Yeah.
But there was good competition.
Good competition, and back then, you always used to hear about the school, Jefferson High,
Vernon Day.
Vernon Day.
But nobody could outshoot you.
I guess not.
Tell the fans who are not familiar with your game, what your game looked like on the court. Where were you shooting from? Where were you knocking down the shots from?
Anywhere. But back then, yeah, guys, if a guy heard your name, he's gonna come out and try to press you and stuff like that. It was more tougher back then, I think, than it is now.
Portland State. I know the Vikings. Had some great athletes. One that comes to mind is a quarterback, Neil Lomax, who had a fabulous career there. But with your accolades, the things that you accomplished at Manual Arts, how did you matriculate to Portland State? Why the Vikings of Portland State?
Well, I remember when I was a senior in high school, I had narrowed my choices down to Portland State and USC. I don't know if you guys never remember a guy named Mose Adolph.
Very good yard.
Mose Adolph played at the same school I went to, and then he was a coach at Portland State. So he was very much one of the reasons why I went up there.
I remember Mose Adolph. He eliminated North Hollywood High School when I was there. He was a very good performer. All right, last ad. Fondest memory in high school, if you can think back to the good old days.
Wow.
Any one moment that comes to mind about being a toiler?
We went to the city. We didn't go to the city championship, but we went to the city playoffs. That was a memory for me.
Right.
Well, Freeman, congratulations on the award. One of the great scores in the history of the game. Well deserved. Freeman Williams out of Portland State, but it started at Manual Arts. We'll step out. We'll have more right after this on SoCal Prep Report.
Thank you, Freeman. Good luck to you. Thank you.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
We're going to run fast on this segment because we're talking track and field. We have a tremendous triple jumper and a great current coach who has a wonderful past. James Butts, 3 Olympics. Ralph Tilley, current coach at Dorsey. They win city titles all the time. In fact, he's won 15. James Butts was fabulous at Fremont. James, congratulations. You're into the hall.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
Before we talk about the 3 Olympic Games, and I know you medaled, your days at Fremont. We got a little Coliseum League rivalry going on here. Ralph is obviously over at Dorsey. You were at Fremont for the Pathfinders. Yes. Take us back to the good old days.
Well, that's when the Southern League really ran the city of L.A. Nobody really wanted to come up and play against us because the final solution would be a defeat for them. You just have to take the lumps as it goes. But those days in the Southern League, we held our heads high and we kept our victories on our top pedestal.
Ralph, what do you have to say about that? Dorsey against Fremont.
Well, we came into the fight a little after Mr. Butts and Dorsey's. We carried on the tradition of the Southern League. And like you said before, the Southern League did rule the city for many years.
Coach Tilley, you've done an amazing job at Dorsey, amazing athletes. What caused you to just focus on track for so many years?
Well, I ran track and I was coached by some outstanding coaches while I was at Dorsey. And I just wanted to follow, keep the program going, keep the tradition strong.
You've done more than that. Mr. Butts, explain life was like back when you were running, because track has kind of gone down a little bit. It's hard to get people out, but at that time, people loved running track.
Yes, it was like when I came on as a freshman, they had all these great athletes from all 5 of the Southern League schools, all right? And at that time, I didn't even dream I'd be able to run, let alone make the team. That's how hot it was, But my friends were on the team, and that peer pressure caused me to go ahead and take a chance, a leap of faith, and I made it that way and continue on and try to do the best I can each day.
When did you realize you had greatness in triple jumping? I mean, obviously you're an Olympian. Here you are at Fremont, you're just another student. You weren't 100% sure you were going to make it. But then down the road, you obviously excelled.
Well, it happened one summer at All-Comers Meet at Gardena High School, and I would go out there and try and learn how to do the event. And after they would whoop me, they would show me how to do the event. The following week, they would beat me again. They'd show me another portion of it. At the end of the year, they had the championships. By then, I put everything together, and that's when I was able to excel that day.
Ralph, you've won 15 LA City championships. You're an excellent coach, obviously, but you win with talent in any sport. Give us a backdrop on some of the great athletes in track and field that you've been able to coach at Dorsey.
Well, we've had Bean O'Brien, quarter miler state champion, Lamont Warren, another talent, Kevin Copeland, and more recently, we had a young man named Reggie Bell, outstanding hurdler, and he went on to Eastern Michigan University. So I've had a lot of great athletes.
Why is Dorsey so plentiful right now? Why are you winning city titles and dominating the LA City section?
Well, I mean, we're just working hard due to our coaching staff. We have a great coaching staff, and we just work hard.
Do you have your speech ready tonight, James? I think you got probably 90 seconds, but I got a feeling you might stretch it here at the Hall of Fame.
I didn't know we were going to have to make a speech, but I'm sure if I say a good prayer, something might come to mind. So here we are. It's good to be here, and I'll see what happens at the conclusion of this get-together.
All righty. Ralph, how about yourself? You have any thoughts you want to pass along as an honoree here?
Well, I know we're inducting many great people into the Hall of Fame tonight, and I want to talk about some of the people that helped me get there and help our program maintain the level of excellence.
I just want to know, are you going to win the city again this year?
Well, we're trying. We're one of the better teams, but we try every year.
Okay.
Talk about your Olympic experiences. 3 different Olympics. I know in Montreal is where you got the silver as a triple jumper. Conjure up some of those memories of the Olympic Games.
Going to the Olympics was always a childhood dream. Being able to go out in the shadows of Jesse Owens and being a fan of Wilma Rudolph, Ralph Boston is a long jumper. And since Mr. Owens is a long jumper, it seemed like it paired up. It was no problem. After meeting those people and getting their confidence that I would be able to excel, I was able to go to those 3 Olympics with the idea of winning, not just participating. And in 1980, they boycotted, and I was number 1 in the world when you had a chance to go. I can't do anything about that now, but I'm sure I would have won.
James and Ralph, congratulations. This is a great honor, well-deserved. It's good to give track and field the kind of publicity that it deserves because, as Eric alluded to, in the early days, I remember those U.S.-Russian meets, the track meets, the dual meets. Those were big-time things in the 60s and the 70s. That's a thing of the past, isn't it?
Well, it is now. It should have never died. We look forward to either running at Fremont, Dorsey, or getting together at the Coliseum to see who would be the best. And if there ever comes around again, I'll be there to cheer on Fremont like I always do. Good luck, Dorsey.
All right. Well, you heard it. A shout-out, Fremont against Dorsey. Ralph Tilley, James Butts, 2 greats in the world of track and field.
What's happening, LA? I'm Ariane Alexander. We're rolling out the red carpet for you this week all over Los Angeles with great festivals for you and your family to enjoy. Take a look. This week, walk the red carpet at the Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival. This major annual showcase spans 8 days of presenting the best and brightest in Asian Pacific and Asian international media. Along with premiere film screenings, experience seminars, panels, guest appearances, filmmaker awards, and galas. Events take place all across Los Angeles. For the festival schedule, go to festival.bconline.org. This Sunday is the Super Bowl of festivals in Los Angeles. Fiesta Broadway is back in its 28th year. Over 300,000 attendees will come to enjoy performances by well-known Latin American artists and authentic food from local area vendors. Carnival-style games and rides fill out the fun. Fiesta Broadway is held in downtown Los Angeles along Broadway and around the streets of City Hall. For details on the musical lineup, visit allaccess-la.com. Don't miss the Skirball's annual celebration of the art of puppetry, featuring new and classic tales brought to life by a variety of puppets, live music, and art making. The Skirball Puppet Festival is a campus-wide, day-long festival showcasing some of the most talented puppeteers and artists from around the world. A day of imaginative storytelling and innovation is sure to amaze. Create your very own puppet and be a part of the festival. Get advance tickets at skirball.org. Whether it's puppets, fiestas, or films, there is always something unique and fun for you to explore in LA. I'm Ariane Alexander for What's Happened in LA, and I'll see you next time.
She was great at Narbonne. What a basketball player. Ebony Hoffman led him to an undefeated season. Not just a city championship. Of course, Narbonne's won a ton of those. A national title and went undefeated. That was in the late 90s. She was the best, on to SC, and a great career in the WNBA. And here you are at the City Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great to see you again. Let's go back to the days of being a gaucho. What was that like, and what do you remember?
Being a gaucho was an interesting experience. Always the underdog until we became the lion. Until we became the lion in the forest. So then we had to, just beat everybody and just make sure our presence was felt.
An undefeated national championship season. We hear so much about teams trying to go undefeated and how the pressure builds. Did the pressure build when you were at Narbonne going undefeated?
The pressure was building towards the end, but we knew that our goal was to be undefeated, to have 0 losses at the end. I think we had a chip on our shoulder that year from the previous year of being disqualified. And so we came to the next year, and we were just so mortified by not having had the chance to win state that we just came out with a chip on our shoulder.
High school basketball has changed since you graduated in 2000. Everybody's got a private coach. Everybody's trying to get recruited. What do you remember, and what do you think of the changes that have occurred?
I think what's being lost is the chemistry that you build with your current teammates. I know we started playing together since we were in the 5th and 6th grade, so we had an interesting chemistry. We knew where each other were going to be. If we went back door, we knew where the ball was going to be. Nowadays, it's more individual, and people are playing for stats. We played for wins. And if you look at my stats, they're not very impressive on the sense of being the best, but we had, 12, 13 girls who all went D1. So, we had Pac-12, we had SEC, ACC. So when you get to that level, it's just a matter of, playing together.
Ebony, who did you look up to? Because at that time when you played, girls basketball isn't like it is today. The women's game has really come on. Who did you look up to?
Yeah, I think the WNBA had just started in '96, and I had 4 years to figure out who my mentor was going to be. And it was, of course, Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Miller, Tina Thompson. Of course, I really wanted to play like Tina. And through that, I evolved into my own player, my own beast of what I wanted to be. And my dad always taught me that, you can always want to play like somebody, but you're going to put your own little spice into it as well.
What's it like once you make it? Now you're in the WNBA and you have to go up against the lady that you looked up to, Lisa Leslie. What was that experience like?
Oh, now we're playing for, to eat. We're playing for a pension, 401k. We're playing for, dollars and cents. It's no longer, I like you, friend. Once we get between those lines and those 90 feet, now we're playing for a different, a different type of level.
And high school is a crucial part in your development, and you make friends. What did you take from your high school experience? Because it sets you in motion for the rest of your life.
It definitely does. It sets you in motion for just the type of individual you want to be and the type of work ethic you want to have. There's, I don't know how many millions of girls that are playing basketball and how many actually get a college scholarship. What is it, like 1.3% that actually get a college scholarship? So I don't think kids really realize the amount of work and the effort that has to go into actually signing on that line and getting to that school that you want to go to.
When you talk about greatness in the LA City section, certainly in girls sports, this name, Ebony Hoffman, right up there at the top. Ebony, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to have a lot more right after this on SoCal Prep Report.
When I get older, I want to be an agricultural scientist because I like finding out new things and helping other people.
I want to be a police officer.
I just want to be a model.
I want to be an FBI agent because I get to save many lives.
I want to play basketball.
Author, filmmaker. We need to give these children a chance to succeed. I know I was a foster child. Be a foster or adoptive parent. Share your heart, share your home.
I don't know if she's going in for softball or basketball or broadcasting or coaching, but it's Kara Bloomfield, our buddy. Kara, congratulations. Great to see you.
Thanks. Thank you, guys.
Well, what do you think? You're young and you're going into the Hall.
Yeah, I know, this is very exciting. Well, I actually went into the Hall of Fame at Boston College, so to follow it up with the CIF is even more exciting.
What do you remember about your prep career? I remember you as a terrific shortstop and outstanding guard, but what do you remember at El Camino?
Yeah,
Should remember it as El Camino. I got
This guy has been announcing for so long, he didn't even bother to say
I'm
your
just so excited that we got Kara on the show.
Listen, I remember Eric from my career. That's what I remember.
There we go.
Back in '99. I loved my high school career, my prep career, just being in the environment that it was, the camaraderie, the teammates, the friends. That was the best part about it. I couldn't even tell you my stats, but I could tell you.
Eric can give you all your stats.
No, what I like is the fact you went back to your old alma mater and became a coach and a teacher, and that's hard to do. Explain why you wanted to do that.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I left and said I never want to be a teacher. I was so over school and everything, but seeing the impact that my coaches made on me and then seeing the way that these kids were being coached, I felt like I had something to offer them, and now I'm absolutely in love with my job. I love being at El Camino, and I get to see you guys all the time.
Sell me on El Camino finally getting over the hump at some point. I know you're not the head coach anymore of the girls' team in basketball. When are they going to finally get past the Narbonnes and all those other schools in the LA City section and win a girls' championship? And in recent years, Fairfax has been very good. A lot of good schools, and certainly Palisades.
This next year, this is the year. Palisades has graduated. We never know who's going to stay and who's going to go from year to year. I'm telling you, this is the year for El Camino. And probably because I'm gone. Who knows? But
No, I don't think so. And why? Who are the players that are going to get it done?
We're going to have a heavy senior class. You're going to have Kiana Hamilton-Fisher. You're going to have Kira Jacks and Naomi Okaji. And then you're going to have some guard play from some juniors. So we're going to be junior and senior heavy.
Who are you most excited to see at the Hall of Fame here tonight?
Well, I don't know who's going to show up. I heard that Fisher, the Rams coach, I want to kind of see what's going on with the NFL in my fantasy program. And I see Amia Hoffman. That's a flash from the past. She was phenomenal.
You played against her.
I did, yeah. She kicked my butt, but we don't need to air that.
That's not what she said.
No, she was phenomenal. But I loved it. I loved the challenge. I loved how competitive it was back then before all the private schools stole everybody.
Right.
The city section was so strong.
But also growing up, you played some baseball, you played some softball, but things have changed. Everything is about club softball now. Is that good or bad?
Good and bad. I think it's bad in the sense that people are putting too much time and focus into it and paying too much money for it. But I think it's good that it's still staying year round and people are still committed and focused. I think kids these days need a life balance. They're putting too much pressure on one sport. Back when I played basketball and two-sport athlete, there were tons of two-sport athletes. Now everybody focuses on one sport and the burnout factor is tremendous.
Most memorable moment for Kara Bloomfield. She was great in basketball and softball. When she was in college at Boston College, she came back to play UCLA, and she hit a home run against the Bruins and hit it over the scoreboard, right?
I still have that ball. I have kept it. I've signed it. That is I love it. It's hanging up.
Kara Bloomfield, one of the greats, softball and basketball in the LA City section.
With my buddies.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore.
It was really a joy to chat with these great athletes who are being honored here today in Culver City. I really enjoyed talking with Chris Marlowe because you know I love volleyball.
Well, I enjoy the fact that these people, where they graduate from, there's still the rivalries going out there. You saw that Dorsey-Fremont rivalry from years ago. It's still going on, and that's the best thing about going to a city section schools. You have so many rivalries, and it comes out even years later.
And they love the memories, to talk about the past. Those high school days, you know, they might be great college stars or Olympians or pro athletes, but those days in high school, that's the beginning. That's the formative stage.
Nobody can top LA. There's been so many people that have gone through Los Angeles Unified School District schools through the years, and they've been great.
That's going to wrap it up. For Eric Sondheimer of the LA Times, I'm Randy Rosenblum. We'll see you next time right here on SoCal Prep Report.